Sauber has just achieved something they haven't done in over a decade. A Formula One podium. For a team that spent years in the shadow of others. Watching the midfield get tighter and more competitive, this is a moment worth unpacking deeply. It was Nico Hülkenberg who stood on that podium at Silverstone. And if you're new to this story or haven't been following Sauber closely, that alone might come as a surprise. But if you look just beneath the surface, it becomes clear that this result is the tip of a very deliberate transformation that's been unfolding behind the scenes. The last time Sauber celebrated a podium finish was back in 2012. Kimuyi Kobayashi, cheered on by his home fans at Suzuka, delivered what felt like a miracle at the time. Since then, the team has changed hands, changed names, lost performance, regained glimpses of promise, and flirted with irrelevance more times than most F1 teams would survive. But they kept going. And now, with Audi's entry into Formula One looming ever closer and serious leadership injected into the team, Sauber isn't just surviving anymore. They're building. This year, they've now scored points in 4 consecutive races. That already beats their entire 2024 points tally. They're 6th in the Constructors' Championship with 41 points, 37 more than they managed in the whole of last season. It's a stat that would make you pause and think, especially in today's F1, where the midfield battle from 5th to 10th is tighter than it's ever been. So how have they done it? It starts with momentum. A car upgrade earlier in the season helped unlock performance, and more importantly, gave both drivers confidence. That's often an underrated element in Formula One. You can have all the downforce in the world, but if a driver doesn't trust the rear in through fast corners or isn't sure the front will bite into a tight chicane, performance doesn't come. But when confidence is there, everything changes. That's what's happened with Nico Hülkenberg and rookie Gabriel Bortoleto. But upgrades alone don't push a team up the standings. The real story lies deeper, in the walls of the Hinwil factory in Switzerland and the parallel operations in Newburgh, Germany, where Audi's first Formula One power unit is being developed for the 2026 season. That's where leadership comes in. In August last year, Mattia Binotto, formerly of Ferrari, took over as CEO of the Sauber Group. Then 3 months ago, Jonathan Wheatley stepped in as team principal after nearly 2 decades at Red Bull Racing. That's a big shakeup, and it's already having an effect. Wheatley, speaking openly and honestly about his early days at Sauber, paints a picture that's equal parts exciting and exhausting. He admits he's pushed himself to the limit since joining, barely taking time off, battling illness, and feeling the pressure to understand every detail of a team that's still evolving rapidly. But what stands out is not the workload, it's the energy. He says there's a buzz in the team, a sense of shared ambition, a willingness to learn, change, and improve. That's rare in a sport where egos and traditions often slow progress. Wheatley's dynamic with Binotto is also proving crucial. At first, the idea of having both a CEO and a team principal with overlapping responsibilities raised eyebrows. But the structure has worked because of their relationship. They've known each other for years, have a mutual respect, and importantly, communicate constantly. Their offices are connected by a door that's open more than it's closed. They talk, they share, and that culture is filtering down through the team. This kind of cohesion matters. When leadership isn't aligned, teams splinter. But here it's the opposite. The two leaders bring experience from very different environments, Ferrari and Red Bull, and rather than clash, they complement. It's about creating an identity for the team as Audi prepares to take over. That identity is still being shaped, but the building blocks are strong. The physical infrastructure at Hinwil tells its own story. It's well maintained, but aging. In F1 terms, that's a limitation. So, part of Wheatley's focus has been on transforming their trackside presence, revising budgets, moving resources, and ensuring that when Audi arrives officially in 2026, the team is operationally ready to compete. Not just show up, but actually compete. There's also a deliberate attempt to modernize how the team functions, from pit stops to communications to data processing. These might not be glamorous areas, but they are essential. Formula One success in 2025 and especially in 2026 will be determined as much by operational execution as by raw car performance. Sauber knows that. They've been working hard to improve pit stop times and overall efficiency. The team is aware that every 10th gained in the garage translates into opportunity on the track. Crucially, Wheatley isn't just hiring externally to fill the gaps. He's looking internally, identifying underutilized talent within the team and giving people a path to grow. He talks about helping people build their careers, spotting potential that's been overlooked, and offering training and support. That long-term vision to grow from within while bringing in outside expertise selectively helps build loyalty. It also creates a culture where everyone feels invested. That culture is already making a difference. After Silverstone, with the double points finish and Hulkenberg's podium, the mood at Hindwell shifted. There's now belief, pride, and hunger. Hulkenberg's role in this resurgence can't be overstated. At 37 years old, he's driving better than ever. Calm, experienced, insightful, and fast. He's brought 37 of the team's 41 points this season. He's also mentoring Bortolito, the rookie who came into F1 this year with a reputation after winning the F2 championship, but with much to learn about the top level of motorsport. What makes this pairing special is how they work together. Bortolito was the first to congratulate Hulkenberg in Parc Ferme at Silverstone. There's no tension, no politics, just genuine respect. Hulkenberg brings maturity. Bortolito brings energy. And together, they've helped bring the engineering office alive. Wheatley says there's a real buzz in the team when these two are working. He sees Bortolito on a path to future success. Podiums, wins, maybe more. But even now, the Brazilian is making a difference. He's at the factory constantly, eager to learn, humble in approach, and full of curiosity. Wheatley knows young talent when he sees it. He's worked with Verstappen, Vettel, and Ricciardo. He believes Bortolito belongs in that conversation. That brings us to 2026. Because let's be clear, everything Sauber is doing right now is laying the foundation for what comes when Audi officially takes the reins. The car will be different. The engine will be Audi's first in F1, and the competition will be fierce. Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and McLaren are all preparing for the same reset. It's a huge moment for the sport, and for Sauber, it's the chance of a lifetime. But you don't win in 2026 by waiting for 2026 to start. That's why what's happening now matters so much. Wheatley says it best, success breeds success. Every good result today helps refine operations, helps build belief, helps attract talent. Even if the points don't keep coming at the same rate, the lessons do. There's also pressure. Big investment means big expectations. Audi's arrival comes with global attention and corporate ambition. It's a privilege to represent a brand like that. But it also means the margins for error shrink. Every decision matters more. Every step has to be deliberate. That's why Wheatley is pushing for relentless accountability. He wants every department to own their role, fix problems, and constantly improve. He doesn't want comfortable. He wants committed. He wants the team to feel like it's driving itself forward. That kind of culture is hard to build, but when you get it right, it's transformative. And it's working. You can see it in how the team talks, in how the drivers interact, in how the results are beginning to come together. So what does all this mean for Formula One? It means the midfield is no longer a graveyard for underperforming cars and drivers hoping for miracles. It's a proving ground for future contenders. Sauber is proving that, with strong leadership, smart investment, and a patient but ambitious roadmap. They're turning potential into progress. It also shows that experience still matters. Hulkenberg's resurgence proves that given the right environment, a driver could deliver results deep into their career. And Bortolito's emergence reminds us that F1's future remains exciting and filled with promise. In closing, what's happening at Sauber is bigger than one podium or a point streak. It's the rebirth of a team with a rich history, now backed by a manufacturer ready to compete at the highest level. They're not there yet. They know it, but they're not pretending. They're building carefully, authentically, and that's what makes this project different from so many before it. As we move deeper into the 2025 season, this Sauber story is one to watch. Not because they'll win every race, but because they're showing what a real rebuild looks like in Formula One. Not flashy, not overnight, but real. And if they keep this up, come 2026, they might not just be another team on the grid. They might be the team that everyone underestimated, the one that rose from the back to fight at the front. If you're a fan of F1 for the stories beneath the surface, for the grit behind the glamour, this is one of those moments worth following. Stick around, because this is just the beginning. And here, we cover every step, honestly, thoroughly, and with the passion F1 deserves. Hello, McLaren faithful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss any McLaren and F1 updates with relaxing ASMR elements. Your support helps this incredible community grow stronger every day, and it's a small effort that goes a long way. Even if you can't contribute in other ways, It's completely free to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to keep the conversation going and share our passion for McLaren and F1. Your support helps keep the community thriving. Thank you for being part of McLaren Faith.